Due to recent YouTube updates, comments and likes have become more important than ever. I beg you to please consider doing exactly that. I read every comment that you write me and answer whenever possible and or need. I'm also open to suggestions for future content. My videos are created without the use of AI, so please support your fellow human content creator against clanker slop. Thank you. Shrimpo wasn't one to cooperate easily, being not the nicest to be around. With the personality of an overly pampered, angry Pomeranian that, due to his nature of being a shrimp, wasn't even that nice to look at. And yet, Schrimpo surprisingly often accompanied groups of toons who explored the bowels of the Garden View Center. He was a decent distraction for Twisted, after all, with his inability to be stealthy, making him the perfect bait. But at the same time, Shrimpo was slow, and so prone to giving up that any form of damage would cause him to just sit down and take it. Under protest, of course, but, well, he was useless, by all means. And you and your team were stuck with him. Your name was Tabitha. You were part of a new group of 5 toons that recently had been awoken out of the show, with the ichor extracted from the Garden View. While 5 of you were themed after the endless void of space. Fully Jack Black bodies and clothing. Your eyes, mouths and noses being white and glowing a little. Each one a different animal. In your case, you were a cat, dressed in a dress so black it perfectly blended with your jet black body. You had a friendly demeanor, and like all of these new additions to the roster of ichor extractors, you had unique abilities that allowed the improvements of other toons to the detriment of your own. Prickster, a scorpion-themed void toon such as yourself, had the ability to share others' pain, taking it away for them but putting it onto himself, healing them, while hurting himself in the process. In your case, you had a very comfortable back and great agility, so the toons would ride you like a horse, sharing your speed in exchange for losing your autonomy, as they took your figurative reins to guide both of you to safety. And so, you, of course, were teamed up with Schrimpo. The grumpy toon huddled behind you, arms crossed, growling about every little speck of dust. The floor was a typical museum floor with cardboard cutouts and the like. Themed after space, featuring a lot of imagery of Astro. There were replicas and wings dedicated to each planet in the solar system. Equipped with a flashlight, you searched around the area looking for extraction machines, with the motto of, "The quicker I'm done with this, the quicker I can get away from Shrimpo." I hate space. Well, we live in space, so you hate your home too? You looked at him, suppressing a sneer. He didn't respond, just frowned. Wait, let me guess. Your next words are, "I hate home." Angrily, he crossed his arms. Well, I mean, not really, he mumbled. Finally, he admitted to not entirely hating something. But I definitely hate aspects of it. You don't have to be in character 24/7, Shrimpo. You can admit you like some things. Oh, I like you shutting up. You flashed him a grin. You wouldn't let his hostility get to you. In fact, you actually quite enjoyed bouncing off of him. Other toons gave snide remarks back that were still remarks. They reflected, not bounced. Their returns made him more angry because they flat out said no. You, meanwhile, said yes, in a really derogatory way. See, that's a start. The two of you entered a hall with a rather ironic name. Entering Uranus, the exploration of the most controversial planet of the system, all because of its funny name. The hall for Uranus was colder than the others. Everything was painted in pale blue and silver, with fake constellations glittering across the ceiling. The floor was a mirror, reflecting the lights like a frozen pond. It should have been pretty. It would have been, if Shrimpo hadn't been there to ruin it. He kicked the cardboard astronaut, muttering under his breath. When I'm so put it like that. You groaned. For the love of Ica, Shrimpo, can you go one quarter without being 12? He stopped, puffing up like he was ready to box the air. I'm just saying, what everyone's thinking. No, you said flatly. No one's thinking that. Only you. With a deadpan, he grabbed your head, forcing you to look at the banner depicting the name of the hall. Hello! Everyone is thinking it! You're wrong! He growled behind you, trying to make a point. After letting go of you, he rubbed your neck. He scowled, dragging his feet, the squeak of his feet echoing through the hollow room. Every few steps, he swat at the dangling plastic stars like they personally offended him. I hate this place, he muttered again. You hate everything. Not everything. Huh? What's the exception this time? He opened his mouth, hesitated, then jabbed a finger to the ground. A shiny floor. If I slip and fall, I get to blame you. You rolled your eyes. That's not how teamwork works. Good. I'm not doing teamwork, he said, gesturing vaguely between the two of you. This is me forcing to hang out with a glow-stick cat who keeps talking. You smirked. You'd miss me if I went away. He looked like he wanted to argue but couldn't quite find the words. His mouth opened and then closed, and then he crossed his arms again. Don't push your luck, Whiskers. You stepped past him, tail flicking just enough to hit his leg. Oops. He glared. You did that on purpose. Did not. You totally did. Maybe. He made an inarticulate noise, half growl, half frustration, and stomped forward, muttering things under his breath about cat hair and space junk. You let him walk ahead this time. It was safer that way. His ranting made good noise at least. It filled the room, bouncing between glass displays of moons and satellites. You watched him glare at a scale model of Uranus, swatting at the orbiting rocks like they were gnats. If this was real, he muttered, I'd throw the whole planet on the trash. You tilted your head. Then where would you live? He pointed at you. In your nightmares! Too late. You're already there. So you dream of me. Good. At least one good thing is happening in your life. You almost smiled at that, when suddenly a laugh echoed. Both of you froze. It came from somewhere deeper in the exhibit, past the mock-up of crashed probe half buried in fake blue sand. Schrimpo frowned, looking around. Did you just... No, you cut him off. That wasn't me. A faint scoff echoed through the hall. Something brushed against one of the hanging stars, making its way. The light over it flickered. You clicked your flashlight towards the sound. Nothing. Just the glass cases, the fake sky, and Shrimpo's reflection beside you. But the reflection didn't match. The one behind him was moving. Quickly you pushed him aside as a twisted leaped from behind the display. Schrimpo grunted as he hit the floor. Meanwhile, the thing slammed her head first into a papier-mâché replica of Uranus's moons, its legs hanging from a hole it made. It was a Toodles twisted, fast little gremlin creatures, her legs kicking, and just as you had grabbed Schrimpo to make him stand again, she was already up. She was loudly breathing through her ichor-stained mouth, red eyes staring at the both of you. Toodles twisteds were highly dangerous, super fast, but with a short attention span. She barked, already poising for another attack. You could run, leave Schrimpo behind, but his eyes were transfixed on the twisted. He didn't even stretch out his arm to grab. For Shrimpo, this thing was an instant death. He knew that. You knew that. And so, you didn't think. You just moved. Your claws caught the floor, scraping against the smooth mirror surface as you lunged forward, grabbing Schrimpo by the scuff and yanking him up. He yelped, half out of outrage, half out of panic, before he tossed him onto your back. "Hold on!" you hissed. He didn't need to be told twice. His hands clammed onto your shoulders, fingers digging just enough to anchor himself. You felt the shift immediately. His weight settled, your vision sharpened, and the hum of your ichor roared like a heartbeat in your ears. A glow in your chest flared white. Your legs bent, muscles tense, and the next second, you were gone. The world a blur. The cold mirror floor flashed past beneath you. The entire Uranus exhibit streaking into blue and silver lines. Air whipped around your ears, loud enough to drown out even the shriek of the twisted behind you. Your feet didn't so much hit the floor as graze it. Each stride felt like flying. You dodged between glass cases and cardboard cutouts, their shadows bending and breaking in your wake. Shrimpo's laughter, loud, wild, the second you never thought you'd hear from him, cut through the rush. "Holy seafood, you're fast!" You couldn't help but grin as he pulled at your muzzle. "Told you to hang on! You got this hanging on!" he shouted, but his voice wasn't angry now. He was exhilarated, raw, unfiltered joy tangled with panic. You swung hard around the corner, your tail lashing out to knock over a display of fake satellites. They clattered to the floor, scattering into the path of the twisted Toodles, who skittled and tumbled in the mess of broken props. For a moment her shriek droppled away behind you, but it wasn't over. It never really was. The hall opened into the next exhibit, models of icy moons spinning on delicate rods, their pale glow flickering under emergency lights. You leapt over one, claws raking through a cloud of fake snowflakes as you passed. Schrimpo whooped on top of you, throwing one arm in the air like he was riding a roller coaster. His other hand still guided you. Every lean, every twitch of his fingers tugged subtly at your movement. It wasn't telepathy exactly, it was instinct. The strange bond that came with your ability. You were no longer the one deciding where to go, he was, and it thrilled him. "Left!" You obeyed instantly, pivoting so sharply your feet barely touched the ground. "Right!" You dodged the broken display stand, your body gliding like a shadow past it. He laughed again, louder this time, breathless and manic. "Faster! Faster! Come on, Tabby! Show the freak what speed looks like!" You never heard him sound proud before, never heard him sound alive like this. You pushed harder. The walls became streaks of light and shape, stars and mock planets flashing past like the real void of space outside. Garden View felt weightless. And he did too. You could feel his pulse thrumming against your spine, could hear the giddy disbelief in every sound that he made. I get it now, he barked, the wind tearing at his words. This is how it's supposed to feel like. No stupid meetings, no whining, no dying in some corner, just this! You didn't reply. You couldn't. Every ounce of your focus was on running, keeping balance, avoiding obstacles, staying one step ahead of the twisted Toodles, whose screeching echoes were somewhere behind you. But you smiled all the same, because for once, Schrimpo wasn't complaining, he was flying. The corridor split ahead into two paths, one narrow, one open. Before you could think, he jerked your shoulder, steering you left into the tighter space. Your body obeyed, sliding low, your claws sparking as you tore through a narrow hall. Cardboard planets ripped apart as you crashed through them. Stars scattered like paper snow. The twisted shrieks grew faint, muffled by the maze of corridors you'd lost her in. Finally, you slowed, your body trembling with the leftover momentum. Your breathing came heavy and Shrimpo slumped against your back, still laughing, panting like he was the one running. His claws released your shoulders, but one hand stayed hooked, loosely around your neck. mostly to steady himself. That, he breathed, was crazy. Crazy good? Did you just say good? You asked, voice ragged. Insane! Amazing! He said with a grin you didn't have to see to feel. He slid off your back and stood beside you, his chest still heaving, his eyes bright. I could get used to this. Really? He smirked. Yeah, you might not be useless after all, Whiskers. You stared at him. He was grinning, actually smiling. And for once, it wasn't the smug I win kind of smirk he always wore. It was softer, crooked. The kind of smile that accidentally happened when you forgot to be mean. Wow. Did Shrimpo the Terror just give me a compliment? He froze like you just caught him stealing. What? No, I was stating a fact. Right? Yeah, I was stating a fact. A fact, you repeated. A nice one? Shut up. You like me. I don't. Do too. He turned, claws flicking like he was ready to dig himself into the floor and vanish. I don't like anyone. I tolerate. That's different. You laid down until your glowing eyes caught his reflection on the mirrored floor. Sure, Shrimp. He sputtered, and your tail flicked. You can't call me that. I just did. Besides, you are a shrimp. You're lucky I'm too tired to argue. You say that every time you lose. Lose? I never lose. How dare you insinuate that I could be losing? He jabbed your chest with one small orange finger. You just cheat with your stupid charm. Charm? You echoed surprised. So you admit that I have some? No. Shut up. His voice cracked mid protest, and you couldn't help but laugh. The air around you had shifted. The sharp edge of adrenaline had melted into something more mellow. You sat down against one of the broken displays, your tail curling around your legs, still smiling as Schrimpo paced in front of you like a wind-up toy running out of energy. Finally, you plopped down beside you, not too close, but close enough that your elbows were brushing. He stared at the fake stars above, sighing through his nose. You're not bad, okay? Oh my God. That's 2 compliments in one night. Should I write this down? This is a special event. He shot you a glare. You're impossible. Admit it. I make this job a little less awful for you. He huffed, looking away. Perhaps. Perhaps. Fine. Yes. Happy now. I'm practically ecstatic. You grinned. Silence sat between you, but it wasn't awkward. It was warm, the kind that made the buzz of the garden machines feel far away. You could hear him breathing. It was steady now, still a little ragged from the chase. His usual angry posture had slouched into something almost comfortable. Never thought I'd say this, he said after a while, voice low. Well, you grabbed me earlier. I guess that was kinda cool. You turned your head, meeting his eyes. Cool. Yeah, like, he gestured vaguely with both hands. Like we were, what you call it? A team? I don't know. You tilted your head. You liked riding me. He choked. Don't say it like that! You laughed, the sound echoing softly across the mirrored floor. I meant literally, Schrimpo. He muttered something. You leaned your head on your knees, watching the shimmer of fake starlight in his shell. You know, you don't have to be angry all the time. He shrugged, eyes tracing the ceiling. It's easier. Then what? He hesitated, fiddling with his fingers. I'm being scared. Yuri's twitched. Scared of what? This place. Twisted. Everything. I suppose that's fair. He blinked, surprised you didn't tease him for it. You smiled, soft this time. You're not alone with that. You know, everyone is. His voice dropped to a mere whisper. Yeah, it feels different when you say that. For a long moment, the two of you just sat there, listening to the hum of the lights. The cold mirror floor reflecting you both like a single shape. Schrimpo shifted closer. Just barely. Hey, if I wanted to do something stupid right now, would you bite? Depends on what kind of stupid. You teased. He looked up, cheeks tinged faintly red. This kind of stupid. Before you could ask, his hand found your cheek, hesitant first, fingers grazing against the smooth surface of your skin. You tilted your head into the touch, leaning closer. You met halfway. Your first kiss was clumsy, warm, and a little too quick, like neither of you knew the timing. He laughed against your mouth and mumbled, You're so bad at this. So are you! You kissed again, slower. The second time, it wasn't a surprise anymore, it was a choice. You felt his trembling fingers curl into your fur. You felt his trembling fingers curl into your dress, his usual stiffness melting into something almost shy and new. When your hand found the side of his face, you leaned into it, like he'd been waiting for the permission. His lips tasted faintly like salt, sharp but not unpleasant. He pulled back just enough to breathe. Oh. Wanna keep going? Sure. You smiled, forehead still against his. Let's go. This really doesn't suck, for once. A high praise coming from you. He snorted. Don't get used to it. You already ruined that plan. He grinned, really grinned before your lips touched again, quicker this time, but lingering. This one wouldn't be broken for a while. And when you finally did, both of you were smiling like idiots. The soft light from the ceiling made the floor shimmer around you as if the stars themselves were watching. But just then, a sound cut through the quiet. A low hiss, a scrape of claws against tile. The same exhausted, mechanical breathing you heard before. Your eyes twitched, Shrimpo's hands tightening around your wrists. It's her. You smile. Are you ready for round two? Let's make this quick. Was that a pun? You teased. Hey, you reached the end of the video. That makes you part of an exclusive club. Our secret password is Cheap Thrills. Put the secret message in your comment below to tell fellow members you watched the video until the very end. Lastly, before I say goodbye, I would normally shout out my channel members. However, due to losing monetization, I currently do not have access to both channel memberships as well as a list of previous channel members. Nevertheless, I'm eternally grateful to the channel members I used to have, and in the case memberships get reinstated, I hope I'll see you again. Thank you for watching.